And just like that, 3 months have already passed by. But even though we're only 3 months into 2022, a lot of things have already transpired. And if we are not careful enough, it is easy to be overwhelmed with all of the bad things that are happening around the world. With this, I'd like to encourage all of us with the goodness of God, even if our eyes don't see it. You see, the goodness of God is one of His attributes, as well as a description of His very essence. God, by nature, is inherently good. As the psalmist declares, "Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in Him." God is the foundation of goodness and of everything good. He did not just obtain it from another source. He is inherently good. People can have good traits or do good things, but goodness is not in our character. Our goodness comes from God. His goodness is evident in all of His creations and deeds. God saw all that He has made, and it was very good. We cannot earn and merit God's goodness because it is already available to us regardless of our situation, and even though we are not worthy of it. Like what Matthew wrote in his book, that God causes His sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. And like what the psalmist declared, that the Lord is good to all. He has compassion on all He has made. God's goodness is a fact that we cannot deny, even in the brokenness and injustices that we see in the world. But what should we do about this? We all know that God is good, and we have been singing about this goodness in our church. But how does knowing that God is good help us in our journey? Let me remind all of us that the goodness of God is the core of our Christian faith. Because when we appreciate God's goodness in everything, it would be a natural response for us believers to show God's goodness to others. Now, imagine the impact if every believer in this world would respond like so. We often respond to situations without even thinking about how God is good in that situation. I know it's easier said than done, which all the more points us to our need to depend on God. There is no other being in this world on whom we can trust in, but in the one who is good. We can trust God because everything that He does is for our own good. May we be given that appreciation that indeed God is good all the time. And through that, may we be prompted to show the goodness of God to others. Now, as we continue on in our journey, let us ask ourselves, how are you going to respond to your situations knowing that God is good? May God bless us all.